Jets up to the 30, the 20, 10, 5. Torrey Horton back to the end zone.
48-yard play. Guess who? Body up the middle, making another move to the outside. 15, 10, end zone again.
Keeps it. Nice move by Brown. He's got space. He's got 6. 35-yard touchdown for Byron Brown. A record-setting night for the South Florida quarterback.
Third down so far. A little bit of a high snap. Genty right up the middle. Genty has room. Ashton Genty. Give him 6.
Second and long. Lagar tries to pin it in. Rose. It does. Rose stays up. The Suns offense 4-3 wheels. Incredible effort for Rose.
The G5 Hive. All G5, all the time.
Welcome to the G5 Hive Live. We are excited to bring you the G5 college football coverage you love each and every week. I am Luke, and I am joined by my co-host, Justice. If you are watching us on X, please hit that like. Sorry. If you're watching us on X, please give us a follow, like, retweet. If you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe button. If you're listening to us in podcast form, please rate and review.
All right, let's get into this week, week 3. A lot of great G5 versus P4 matchups this week. A lot, as you can see by the graphic on the screen.
Yes, so let's get into it. Arizona State at Texas State, Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Texas State, they were clicking last week, so we will see how they perform. Arizona State performed a lot better than I thought they would last week, so this could
Arizona
be a really great
State's
matchup.
looking better than I think people expected. But I think that this is a big opportunity for Texas State. The game is in San Marcos. I think it's a Thursday night, prime time, ESPN. I'm sure I don't know this on ESPN. I'm just assuming because it's the Thursday night game. But I think Texas State's gonna be fired up, and they're gonna get win number 3 for the G5 versus the P4.
Well, we could be getting another win. We've got UNLV at Kansas, Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. We get another game here on Friday night. UNLV versus Kansas. They played in the bowl game, correct?
I don't remember. My memory on that's not that good.
I think that's who they played in the bowl game, but that was a fun game. I'm gonna have to look it back up. But
and if UNLV can get the win on Friday night, that will be their second win against a P4 this season. And so, they got to be ranked, I would think, if they can beat Kansas.
Kansas defeated UNLV 49-36 in the Guarantee Rate Bowl this last year. So, rematch of that game. We'll see how. UNLV put up lots of points this last week against an FCS opponent. I believe they were. I think it was like 70 some points. Sluka didn't really throw a whole bunch. Definitely did more work on the ground. But that should be a fun game to watch Friday night. Then we've got Arkansas State at Michigan Saturday at noon. I expect Michigan's defensive line to blow up Arkansas's offensive line because they have not been playing well at all. I'm terrified. We'll see how that game turns out. Michigan's not that great either, but we'll see again how that one goes. Then we've got Oklahoma State at Tulsa Saturday at noon Eastern. Like I said, Tulsa's this up and coming team. Oklahoma State kind of off to a slow start last week. Had some mistakes. If Tulsa can play mistake-free football, I maybe give them a 40% chance at right now. We'll see how it goes, but it's at Tulsa. Seeing a lot of these P4 teams go to the G5, which is interesting too, because it's not really from a recruiting standpoint. Not like Oklahoma State needed to go to Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah,
So Then we've got Louisiana Tech at NC State Saturday at noon. I kind of anticipate NC State to bounce back from last week, and expect that linebacking group to be the heart of this team. I would anticipate NC State gets a win over Louisiana Tech. Then we've got Central Michigan at Illinois Saturday noon Eastern. Central Michigan just didn't look that great last week, so
I
we will
guess that,
see how
yeah.
they look. Illinois looked better than I thought they would look this year. So
Yep.
tale of two different teams right now. I anticipate Illinois will win that one. And then we've got Memphis against Florida State. Memphis has been clicking. Florida State winless. They're coming off a bye. You would think they'd be focused. But I still like Memphis. I get they haven't been challenged, but that Florida State team has not looked great. I'm expecting, if that defensive line, who is supposed to be great, is actually great, and they start getting some pressure, maybe some dump offs here to Mario Anderson. But I'm expecting Memphis this to be kind of maybe similar to that Oregon Boise State game, in maybe the back and forthness of it. I don't know. Memphis played Iowa State really well in the bowl game, beat them. I don't know. I just give me Memphis in this one.
And that's a game that we had circled many weeks ago before the season, as Memphis is, I think we said Memphis is going to upset Florida State, and the game due to Florida State's poor performance to start the season, the game's lost some of that luster, and so now I think Memphis needs to win the game for different reasons, right? Because if they lose to Florida State, then everybody, Florida State's not good. You lost to a bad Florida State team. And so Memphis really needs to get this win. It's not necessarily going to bolster their playoff chances, I don't think, because Florida State's not good. But if they lose to Florida State, it's going to torpedo that talk, I believe, just because Florida State, has performed so poorly.
Then we've got Cincinnati at Miami of Ohio. Miami of Ohio held Northwestern to 13 points. I believe they lost 6-13. If I'm remembering back, they had a bye week this last week. Again, Cincinnati going to Miami. You got to like your chances with getting that home field advantage. Cincinnati playing a lot better this year than last year. Brett Gabbert, he'll come up in the 2020s, but if he has a solid game, I can see Miami of Ohio and that defense stepping up. One of the better defenses in all of the G5, let alone the MAC. I think this could be a closer game than people realize. Then we've got a fun game. This game, I think last I saw the over-under was maybe at 65 or 64 or something like that and a half. North Texas at Texas Tech. Upset alert. North Texas takes down Texas Tech. Hopefully it's just a lot of fireworks.
Texas Tech didn't look good this past week against Washington State. And another game you thought would be like a shootout, and it definitely was not a shootout. But Texas Tech did not look good in that game. They didn't have Taj Brooks, their star running back, but hopefully he's back for this matchup, I guess, for their sake. But North Texas playing well to start the season, and like you said, another potential G5 versus P4 upset.
This could be an upset alert weekend.
Yeah, like I feel like there's for sure there's going to be like two, but I'd probably say three G5 over P4 wins this weekend.
You said you did you just guarantee two? Did you just
Well,
guarantee
I think for
two?
sure there's two. I think for sure there's two, and but like I'd probably put like 75% odds that there's three.
Yeah, I like the Memphis. I like UNLV. Texas State could be the other one.
North
and
Texas,
we'll get to my other one here that I think Rice over. We'll get to it later. Rice, I think, can beat Houston. And there's a dark horse one that I kind of like coming up. Then we got Ball State at Miami, Saturday 3:30 p.m. Eastern. Tulane at Oklahoma, Saturday 3:30 p.m. Eastern. This one is an upset one that I like. Oklahoma just hasn't looked great lately. Jackson Arnold not really slinging the ball all around. I like what Tulane was able to do against Kansas State. We'll just see if OU has the I assume they'll have the athletes to win this one, but I would anticipate this one to be closer. I mean, really, what's the difference between Jackson Arnold and Avery Johnson? I mean, they're probably similar, so it's going to be probably a similar prep in that sense.
Jackson
And
Arnold's a little bit better passer than Avery Johnson.
Well,
Avery Johnson's a much better runner, though.
but I mean, like, first year full time starters, things like that. So, and then this one is kind of my upset alert. Toledo versus Mississippi State. Mississippi State not looking great. The offensive line not looking great. Toledo typically has a tough defense. Toledo 2-0. This could be one of those games that we are looking in the fourth quarter, and it's a lot closer than we imagined.
Yeah, the MAC, getting another huge win, and against the P4.
We've got Nevada at Minnesota Saturday 3:30 p.m. Eastern. We've got Troy at my Iowa Hawkeyes Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern.
Your Hawkeyes, man, they're gonna be I guess looking to put some punishment on Troy. I think after losing to in-state rival Iowa State.
It was embarrassment. It was an embarrassment. UAB looks to bounce back at Arkansas Saturday at 4:15 p.m. Eastern. If they play like they did last week, Taylor Green might just run all over them. Not really sure there. Utah at Utah State, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. Again, Utah State probably going to be looking to their backup quarterback. Also, Utah, Cam Rising left with an injury. Maybe they play their backup quarterback in this one. UConn at Duke, Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Virginia Tech at Old Dominion, Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Based off of what you've said, I'm not looking.
A fun fact, though, for that game, Old Dominion is 2-0 against Virginia Tech at home. So we've never lost to the Hokies at home. Conversely, we've never beat the Hokies in Blacksburg. I mean, I hate to say this, but I think that streak ends this week.
We've got UTSA at Texas Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern. If UTSA looks like they did against Texas State, this will look ugly. Texas, they are a national championship contender. Then we've got Vanderbilt at Georgia State Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Typically, Vanderbilt's been one of those SEC teams.
They can lose to anybody.
Georgia State has been pretty solid. A lot better than maybe we anticipated they were. But I do kind of like Vanderbilt and what they've been able to do this year. Then we've got New Mexico at Auburn. Last year, Auburn lost at New Mexico. But this
New
is
Mexico State.
They
lost to New Mexico State.
But sorry for all those New Mexico and New Mexico State fans. I'm sorry about that. Iowa State, I get it. But you don't like to be associated with the other ones. Auburn just coming off of a loss. I believe they just lost. It doesn't matter. But this New Mexico team and the Fighting Dampiers could make for an interesting game here, and maybe we're seeing him run all over the place. Went over the Toledo game. Air Force at Baylor Saturday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Air Force just doesn't have it this year. It's not like Baylor's super great either, but I anticipate Baylor to run away with this one. Then a rematch of the great game from last year, Colorado at Colorado State, Saturday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We're hoping that Torrey Horton can be back from that groin. We'll keep you guys up to date as we learn things going on in that one.
It was, like you said, great game last year. Hopefully it can live up to last year's billing, except with Colorado State getting the W.
Absolutely. Then we've got Kent State at Tennessee. Kent State looking rough this year. Saturday at 7:45 p.m. Eastern. Tennessee could put up 50 points by halftime, maybe. I don't know. Tennessee's putting up a lot of points this year, and Kent State is looking rougher than I thought they would look this year. Rice at Houston. Houston,
Not good.
woof. Rice, again, brings back a lot of guys. Just got a W this last week. Feeling good rolling into Houston. Give me Rice in this one. This, again, could be one of those other ones. Dean Connors could probably have another 8, 10 reception, 12 reception game here in this one. Give me the Owls hoot. BYU at Wyoming, Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern. BYU going to be down a couple running backs. I'm not so sure it matters. This Wyoming team looks like a shell of itself from a year ago.
Yeah, they've been disappointing. I think I expected much more out of them than what we've seen. They don't have Gillenborg, they don't have Harrison Whaley, but they've looked way worse than just those 2 injuries.
And then San Diego State at California. Maybe California beat Auburn. Maybe that was the game. I think they play at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. We'll see what San Diego State looks like against that defense there at Cal. Then we've got our G5 versus G5 matchups. We've got App State at East Carolina, Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern. App State looks to bounce back. East Carolina, no offense, Justice. ODU obviously not looking great. ECU's defense is good. We'll see what this App team State looks like, because I believe the week after they play Liberty, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure when they play Liberty on the schedule. East Carolina, I don't know, defensively, they're pretty good. Offensively, I was not impressed at all. Jake Garcia did not look good, as evidenced by his 4 interceptions, and they were all his own fault. They were just very bad decisions. I was not impressed with the Pirate offense. But in-state rival here to North Carolina. G5's getting it on, and so in those kind of games, you usually the unexpected can happen. But definitely, I like App State to bounce back in a big way this week against East Carolina.
And then we've got Florida International at Florida Atlantic, Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm excited for this one because I think this is a Hayes breakout game there at wide receiver. I think Omarion Hayes has a huge game in this one. Looking for that one. We've got UTEP at Liberty, Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm also looking forward to this because Liberty got very, very lucky last week. They should have
lost, yes.
Just kind of like the Sam Houston game last year. UTEP, the up-and-coming team, they lost to an FCS team last week.
They did lose to an FCS team this past week.
So this would be quite the upset, but I don't know. I'm just not there.
Liberty did not look good against New Mexico State. They should have lost the game. Thankfully, they have Quentin Cooley on the team, and I don't know, I don't know if the coaching staff what they were thinking. Quentin Cooley was clearly hey, you need to give him the ball more, and they waited until the 4th quarter to do it. And now he rewarded them. 2 big touchdown runs there to get that victory for Liberty. But man, they did not look good.
Then we got Western Kentucky at Middle Tennessee, Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern. This one we'll see what Western Kentucky's made out of. They looked a little bit better last week. Obviously, they weren't playing Alabama, so that helps. Middle Tennessee bounced back. Holden Willis, came back to the guy that we kind of thought he was going to be.
Still waiting for Amari Kelly, though.
Yeah, still waiting on him. Auburn transfer. The one I'm excited about here, is Hawaii at Sam Houston. I think we might just see fireworks. I'm hoping just see the ball just flying around the yard in this one. And then New Mexico State at Fresno State. We'll see how this Fresno State team looks. They've been throwing the ball. Mike Keene, bounced back after Michigan. Also, New Mexico State playing a little bit better than maybe I thought they would. In
Absolutely. Like I said, they
2024.
should have beat Liberty. Should have beat Liberty this past week. So, we'll see if they can bring it against Fresno State this week.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight. Come back and join us next week as we discuss what happened in week 3, as well as look forward to week 4 of the 2024 season. And as always, bring you up to date on all the latest news and happenings in the world of G5 college football. If you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe button. And if you're watching us on X, please give us a retweet, a like, a follow. And if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please subscribe and leave those 5-star ratings and reviews. Thank you all for your support. And until the next time, we are the G5 Hive.